So we've seen all the very trending, very disturbing videos that have been circulating all over social media in the news. With students versus students, boy versus girl, girl versus boy, teacher versus student, student versus teacher. People get STABBED up, people get KILLED. And we've seen the interviews done by these distraught parents. I am going to let DSP Daily explain everything in intricate details and give you the harsh reality of what is going on in the school and why it is a reflection of society, most of these garrison areas. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
We have violence within especially within high schools. The primary and other schools, not so much of a problem. But in high schools, we'd have to make arrests as relates to violence in high schools. What you realize is that what is happening in the community is replicated in the school. So in the community you have the gangs, and then you have in the schools, we have the gangs also in the schools that replicate the gangs within the community. And so we tried our endeavor best. We are partnered with CTAC and other stakeholders to assist in this regards to see if we can minimize or eliminate the gangs within the schools. Not all of them are gang related, are dealing with violence within school. But as I said, our first aim is not to make an arrest. Our first aim is to at that level of intervention. But you have cases that come to us where the parents insist that they want the other child to be arrested. In that regard, we have to make an arrest. We can't go against the wish of the parents because we police by consent. But in those cases where we can intervene, we call in other external stakeholders to assist us. We have counsel, we have restorative justice, we have victim services division, and other stakeholders who assist us from time to time. More boys are arrested than girls. But we notice that girls have gangs in school also. But it's not as dominant as the boys. So as the girls do their thing and they fight and so on, we don't have the girls like portraying that level of violence compared to the boys. But as I said, our main aim is to try to get them to modify their behavior. But then we have a safe school program in which our police are within the schools, but we don't have sufficient officers to be in all the schools all the time.
Now people, dancehall artists like to coin a specific term. Music is a reflection of life or what is going on in society. True, there are some positive but mostly negative influence as it pertains to these trap music. The same can be said as it pertains to society and schools. The schools are a reflection of the society. The schools that are in these volatile communities that have all sorts of gang problem, those are the schools that we always hear 99% of the time that there's any sorts of violent activity. We've seen all combinations possible. Teacher versus student, student versus teacher, boy versus girl, girl versus boy, vice versa. Everything that you can think about, we've seen it all. And as concerned citizens, it disturbs us. So what this SSP, Mr. Daly, is letting you know that, listen, the same thing where you see are going on the street with these gangs, they are infiltrating, they are corrupting these schools. So therefore, when these youths in these volatile communities, and they see these dons, these gangsters, these thieves, as the role model, when they go to school, they try to emulate the same thing. Sometimes, yes, them come from some sorts of dysfunctional homes. Sometimes, in rare cases, they have good parents. However, the results seem to be the same. We've seen so many disturbing videos of students getting hurt, students getting KILLED, whether it is by the GUN or mostly by some sorts of kitchen utensil, the knife that is. So this top cop is making us know that, listen, if we want to solve this problem as concerned citizens, we have to intervene. Has to be some sorts of intervention, professional therapy for these youths because they are going wayward. There's no sorts of role models in the homes. The role models are the gangster and people, you know. When you take any sorts of bad example, it usually ends up in some sorts of bad way. So I make you know, so listen, parents, teachers, communities, you have to take some sorts of stand. You have to kind of collaborate with the popo and make sure that we save these youths, because the way that it is trending right now, it is only a recipe for disaster. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called, hold on a minute, how come the popo catch this man with a gun in his waist, red-handed, the popo and the soldier? I am speaking about a picture that is circulating all over social media in which a man can be seen handcuffed on the ground, face down, with some sorts of tool neatly tucked in his waist. And he is still alive. Now, people, like I said, things have changed drastically for the worse for the criminal elements as it pertains to wanted people, gunmen and dons. We see that when the popo go for them on some sorts of warrant, it is mostly BEATH warrants. It is mostly controversial SHOOTING, the popo of the regular script. Them enter the premises and came under FIRE. They took evasive action after the smoke cleared. 1 man, 2 man, couple people were seen clutching onto some sorts of firepiece. They were fatally arrested. So this picture that we see on the screen. Now, people, here's the thing. This man is caught red-handed. This man is pretty much caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Well, actually, not in the cookie jar, but him have the heat on him side. So therefore, the popo don't have to ask any sorts of question. It's not as if them pull up on some sorts of corner and 7 or 8 man run and then them find a tool. Them have a question, who for tool? This man is caught on the spot with that heat on him side. So therefore, me have to ask how comes him a live like that JPS commercial. People, like I said, things have changed, and I understand that you can't just be going around willy-nilly and taking away people because innocent people might lose them life. However, when you catch somebody like this, there is no sort of reason to waste any sort of taxpayers' money, waste any sort of gas, waste any sort of paperwork on the taxpayers. You need to take him out immediately. Simple as that. So I am just saying the relevant authority, whether a JDF, JCF, CTAC, Special Ops, SWAT, send out the memorandum of understanding so that these people can understand themselves. That the people of Jamaica specifically, law enforcement is taking a stance. And we are going to eradicate you guys on spot. We are not going to give you any more chances to go to any sorts of court, only for the system to drop the ball. So the popo, when they are caught in a predicament such as this, they are going to be a one-stop shop. They are going to be the judge, the jury, and most importantly, the executioner. That DEATH warrant should be signed, sealed on spot. No sorts of questions. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, I received a picture a couple of days ago, and this picture that you see on the screen is allegedly the man that took away that 29-year-old teacher, Mrs. Anglin. She was found DEAD maybe about a week or so after the day that she was found missing. Here's the thing. This man has a record of sexual predator-ish in Antigua. He was charged, convicted on or about 2015, 2016 in Jamaica for the same thing. Don't know how much time he got. I think he got some sorts of probation. People, don't quote me on this. However, he is a repeat offender. However, he is on the sexual predators list. However, that list is not open to the public, it's private. So therefore, people did not know that he was about in their community driving a cab, in drive it is called. We know the controversy as it pertains to that. However, that is not the topic of discussion today. Now, people, here's the thing. When you look on a face like this, it is the description, or if you was to look up sexual predator, if you was to look up RAPER, if you was to look up any sorts of thief, criminal, that would be the description. He would be the poster boy, literally. Now, people, when you look on people like this, he is not the most handsome fella, and I am not saying that all ugly people are thief. But me just as say, it seeps criminality all over him. So women out there, sometimes it is not good to stereotype and say, the man they look thief, even though I do it all the time. But this youth looks like a criminal. Him look like everything that they say that he is. So me just as say, you guys need to have more judgment. Yes, sometimes it is unfair. However, do not take any sorts of chances with your life. Because this monkey sample, can you imagine as a woman? Well, not me imagining being a woman, but me just as say, women out there. And this man actually jump over your fence. Maybe you as a woman would probably rather die than to live with the fact that this man actually crawl upon you and inserts him like a corrupted, infested, whatever it is. So the moral of the story is this: people, especially women out there, be very careful. You literally cannot trust any sorts of shadow after dark, and worse, mankind. The hearts of men are evil, and it is getting progressively worse by the day. So therefore, take heed. The life that you save might be yours. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that Queen Ifrica is giving a royal bashing to Shenseea and also Spice. Pretty much blaming them for infiltrating, corrupting the young girls out there with all sorts of lewd, immoral stuff in their music. So therefore, while they are supposed to be some sorts of role model, they are doing the polar opposite. The system of corruption has them, and they are doing it for the money. BLOOD, and corruption money, that is. Take a listen, take a look to exactly what Ifrica has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
Again, dirty Shenseea, you can't be no blood clot face of Jamaican woman out of Jamaica. Go suck on yourself and go do it for Korea or which part your blood clot bloodline there. And really and truly, if we don't get anybody else face of Jamaica, Adidas, I should have Spice your blood clot make do it, because she are the truest representative of a Jamaican woman. I just true she a idiot. Make she blood clot end up where she end up.
Now, people, there's a thing that is called the law of supply and demand. The music industry, it is there to make money. So therefore, the music industry is going by a method, a recipe of success. Pretty much give the people what they want, and the more that they want is the more that they get, the more that they are going to give it to them. So therefore, because of how society is, because of how social media is, the people are not interested in any sorts of positivity. The people like negativity. Negativity and sex sells. So the policy and formula is give the people what they want, give them extra dose, overdose them with the same old ish. Because of that them like, that is what sells, that is what increase. The bottom line meaning the money. The motive is always money. And people, the truth and the fact is that some persons have to take a stand. Somebody have to make some sorts of changes. But people, in my opinion, and I am not saying that we should give up, and I am not saying that there should not be any sorts of FIGHTERS for the rights out there. But me just as say, I think it is a tad bit too late. The ass already jump out of the track. And instead of getting better, sadly we can say this thing is only going to get worse. Them could plead the BLOOD of Christ. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news is the double standard and hypocrisy as it pertains to politics. Both the JLP and the PNP. Whenever the PNP or the JLP are asked to answer any sorts of question of significance people's concern, them always quote some sorts of privacy issue. Them can't talk because it violates this, violate that. However, when they see people that they deem to be insignificant or lesser than them because they put themselves on some sorts of pedestal, then they try to belittle, ask these people questions as if these people are obligated to answer each and every question opposite to what they do. There's a new member of parliament, his name is Robert Miller. He is confronting the Auditor General about some sorts of question. And the way that he coined his question is violating this lady's rights. But people, like I've always said, these people have a double standard. They are not practicing what they are preaching. So Emily Shields, she is exposing this particular person, Mr. Miller. Take a listen, take a look to the exchange between the Auditor General and Mr. Miller. And then I'll give my piece.
Can the Auditor General tell the committee as to who from the Gleaner contacted her?
Mr.
Time
Chairman,
and when?
you listen to this. You listen to this. That's Robert Miller, a first-time member of parliament. Who is going to tell this guy that he's out of order? Eh? Anybody send Uno to latch on to the Auditor General like a silver ticks? Uno come off of the Auditor General's back. Come off of the Auditor General's back, and if you don't want to hop on, find something of substance on which to hop on. You are completely out of order. You and your surrogates, Mr. Miller, completely out of order. It gets worse. Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to provide that information. I generally do not provide information at the committee when names are asked. If the member wants to know, then I guess a letter can be written and I'll provide the information. But as I say too, I believe that you can also contact the Jamaica Gleaner for that information.
Member, let us move on.
Now, people, one thing that I realize that is very strange with these politicians, they are irresponsible, negligent, however, they are arrogant. And it shows in the pay scale, they underperform and they are overly compensated, paid way too much than they deserve. They should be the ones that are getting the minimum wage. So since Mr. Miller have a question, the question that a lot of Jamaicans have is when is your Prime Minister, your leader, going to make his statutory declaration about his assets? When is Parliament going to reveal the illicit six lists? Since you want answers to your questions, there are more important questions that needs to be answered. However, we can't hear nothing. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called Pots are called the kettle black. The hypocrisy that exists in our politics continue. This time, I am pretty much taking on the PNP. Now, there's a video that is circulating, making its round on social media in which some PNP members are explaining their plan in intricate details of how they plan to win the election. Debates that they are going to use to lure people in. People, take a listen, take a look to this not so beautiful bean footage, and then I'll give my piece.
I said this before and I'll say it again. We go to the people. We find a way in every nook and cranny and we go to them for the votes. We even buy the votes if we need to buy it. I believe you go in the constituency, play some music, boil some soup or some curry goat or something, and use that and get the people them to come. And when them come now, you hold them with the food, with the KFC or whatever. Right? Because that is how we get to engage them.
1 second, sorry. Because we could do that. How many meetings you had?
We had about 40.
40 meetings. You would have the same result, even if you gave them KFC. Sorry, how are you get this? Even if you give them KFC.
Now, people, I can't make this up. This is not Photoshop. This is not re-edited. I am taking it straight from the horse's mouth. This is a bait that you put in the tackle box. We are speaking about the buying. We are speaking about soap. We are speaking about curry goat. We are talking about KFC. That is what you're going to use to hook these people. People, if you need any more sorts of example of what these people feel about you, how low, how easily you are manipulated, well, I don't know what else to say. This is a perfect example. So people, there you have it. Now the JLP and the PNP both hate me. The way that I see this is that the more people that hate you is the least likely that you're going to be taken out by friendly FIRE. That is the motto, that is the principle that I live by, and I will continue to do so. Speak my mind, whoever vex, I just saw it go. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.